I'm not gonna lie. My mental health has been a whole mess. This is actually my brain right now. Hello everyone, welcome back to the welcome to the very first episode of Real Talks with Riri, and today's topic is going to be on mental health. I've created an email, diarrhea21@gmail.com, and this is for you. If you ever feel like you need someone to talk to and you just want an unbiased opinion, whatever it is, do not be afraid, do not hesitate to email me or DM me on Instagram, because what I'm going to start doing is I'm going to check both those accounts at 12:30 to 1:30 p.m. every single day. If the time changes, I'll let you know. Okay, so here are just a few things that could potentially help our mental health. Number one, stop comparing yourself. We have heard this multiple times before, but it's way easier said than done. And the reason why I'm bringing it up right now is because recently this one has really resonated with me, which is why I'm bringing it up as number one, is because I recently have been getting just a lot of bad news in terms of my career and like schools, just lots of rejections. Like, unfortunately, you ain't coming. I'm like, oh. And then on top of that, I'm doing online schooling and I feel burnt out. Like, staring at a screen all day is not it. Back in the day when I used to, like, let's say fail a test or do poorly in something, I would say, wow, like I'm like, oh, you're dumb, like you're not good enough. But in my heart, like I always knew like that wasn't true. But now when I started saying it, so when I was going through this spiral this year, I started to really believe it. And I literally just felt like I just didn't know how to get back out, because it started to feel like very real. I was like, wow, all my queens and kings, they're getting accepted and they're moving on with their life. What about me? The moment you start comparing yourself, you block your own blessings. Because, oh, we've heard this, I'm gonna cringe, but we've heard it. Like, I think I just have to remind myself that my life is very different from everyone else's life. My path is going to be very different. Same thing with you. Your path is gonna be very different. Who made up this time? Who made up this timeline? Who made up this framework? That by this age you need to be this. By this age you need to be this. By 20s, you know, you should like have $1 million. So if you're comparing yourself, I know it's a lot easier said than done, but once again, baby steps. Baby steps. Start realizing that pattern if you notice you're doing it. Okay? Okay. So number two, we've heard this one too as well, okay? But being present. Because I read this book called Power of Now. Who has read it? You don't even have to read it. It's in the title. The Power of Now. So I read this book when my mom passed away 2 years ago. I did not know how to handle my life at that point. Like, there was a lot happening. So as I was reading this book, there was a section on loss and grief. Now, the book wasn't saying you shouldn't reflect, you shouldn't grieve. That's not what it was saying. If you are like trying to move on, you're just tired of being in that slump of being super sad, this is how. Like, when you're focusing on one task and you're not thinking about the incident that had happened or like the passing, and you're just focusing on that one task, you will not be sad. If I'm cooking a meal and I'm focusing on cooking that meal, and then afterwards focusing on eating that meal and enjoying the taste of what I'm eating and just savoring that and allowing my senses to just fully be present, I'm not thinking about what just happened in my life. I'm not thinking about the sadness that comes with the grief of losing someone in that particular moment. So I start to implement this slowly into my life, but it's difficult. I'm like, every time I start focusing, my mind wants to go somewhere else. And then I start to research why that was happening. And it was because I'm like, it's so much harder now in this time to be present, because we're always multitasking. Technology is a huge part as to why we can't really be present. It's more difficult to stay present. We're advancing forward in a lot of different areas in our life that allows us to be more efficient with our time. But that comes with a lot of stress, because you're no longer enjoying that moment. You're always just trying to do a million things at once. So I'm like, so how do you implement this into your life to be truly honest, to be present the whole 24 hours. Okay, you're sleeping on most of those hours, you know what I'm trying to say. I hope so, 8 hours. But if you can start implementing an hour a day, just focusing, or even 20 minutes a day, focusing on that particular moment, whatever the task is, brushing your teeth, making your bed. If you're making your bed, focus on making your bed. And every time a negative thought comes in, every time that you feel like you want to switch your focus, cut it. Eventually, the more you exercise your brain to focus in the present moment, you will get better at it, okay? And what also helps is meditating and doing yoga. Now, when I started meditating and I tried to do it again, like this past month, I was a hot mess because I couldn't focus. I couldn't even focus on my breath. I just was like, oh my God, I have to do this one thing. And I had to take my phone. Oh my God, I literally could not sit down. Like, I think that's my first step. Just focus on my breaths. Just 10 breaths. Can we do that? Just focus on 10 breaths. Oh my God, I went into my trachea. If you want, we can do it together and we can totally talk about it. Yes, please. Okay. Number 3 is non-attachment. All right, so non-attachment in its simplest form means letting things be. Whatever enters your life, you embrace it. I don't know why I said it like that. And whatever leaves your life, you allow it. So there are 3 types of non-attachment. So first one is material attachment. Your source of happiness comes through material possessions. Number 2 is personal attachment. You feel validated and accepted through other people.
Yeah, I just want to let you know that you're not it. You're not it. You're not good enough. Sorry.
3 is, I struggle with this one, is thought attachment, okay? And this one is about the beliefs and expectations that others or you may have on yourself. Like setting yourself up to these standards that don't even exist. They're all kind of in your head. So how do you practice non-attachment? Start with recognizing the impermanence around you. What here is actually going to be here forever? Nothing. Are you still here? Hello? Did you watch all of it? Oh, thank you. I appreciate you so much. Once again, if you feel like you need someone to talk to, you can always email me. You can always DM me. I am here for you. And I want you to know we are not alone. We are going to thrive in life, okay? But it's all about baby steps. So once again, thank you so much for watching. I really, really appreciate it. Let me know if any of these worked for you or didn't work for you, or you're like, what are you talking about, Ria? Because like, what? Don't worry, none taken. The next episode will be the diarrhea show episode. And yeah, I'll see you all soon.